Greetings, Matt Leaving Vidal here from Cartonic Holistics. Just want to reflect on a few things that have been happening, obviously, around the world and in the UK right now, and what this is happening and the impact of, from a spiritual to a physical point of view, what's actually going on and what's going on in people's unconscious and conscious. So, obviously, we've had this virus that's been going around for several months now, since December probably, and obviously it's taken a grip on, well, the whole planet. And now, obviously, it's got to a point is where it's caused a lot of fear, but also it's caused a lot of self-awareness, and people have come together in unity to try and obviously pull together to get each other through this and to be united as one common being as humanity and the good souls that we all are. Now, of course, there's various aspects to this, and it brings up a lot of different changes from the conscious to the unconscious. So, what's obviously been happening, especially around the growth and I suppose the expansion and the awareness of fear and fight to flight within this fear of this so-called pandemic that's out there today, it's brought back and raked up a lot of differences and situations which cause us as humans to be aware of different things that are going on within our own communities and outside our communities. And when we get together, we pull in solidarity, and we come together as human beings. We begin to start defending and supporting and not taking the BS that normally we will kind of sweep under the carpet. And as I said, and I've said this in many videos, especially a couple of months ago, I said this virus is about raising consciousness. That's how we're going to get through it. That's how we're going to overcome it. And now, obviously, what happened to George Floyd, God rest his soul, this has sparked up a lot of energy, to the point is where people have come out. Let's just take away the violence out of this, okay? Let's take the violence out. Let's bring in the protesters who are doing it calmly. Let's look at that. And they've come out, even though there is fear that, you can catch this virus, they've come out to stand up and said, no, this isn't happening anymore. And a lot of people, even people in power, have stepped up, and celebrities, politicians and so on, have stepped up and, came to the forefront and said what's going on is bad, and coming in solidarity and support and understanding of Black Lives Matters and so on. Let's take out the colour bit. Let's bring in the humanity bit. The humanity, obviously, of a man being forcibly detained and murdered to that degree, or used in such a way that he passes. That in the state of, by some people that should be protecting people. Now, if you look at the whole scenario, the undercurrent of it is for the fact, I don't think a lot of people have seen, is for the fact is that we pay salaries to, obviously, in our taxes and so on, for people to safeguard us and keep us safe. And I think a lot of people forget that, obviously, people that are working, or people who are paying taxes and people going out there, we, as a black man, when I go out and I work and I pay my taxes and I do what's right and so on and so forth, when you don't feel safe because you are instantly looked at like you're doing something wrong because you've done well for yourself. You've driven around in a nice car and so on and so forth. But what makes me laugh about it, right? They say that drug dealers drive around in nice cars, right? And predominantly the majority of them are black men. So what, don't white or Asians or Chinese people drive around in the same fucking cars? Explain that one. And oh yeah, because the majority of black people who do drugs and who want to go out and cause crime are going to drive around in cars like that. No, that's just fucking stereotypical. You know, everybody and people who drive around in cars, big cars like that, they're beyond their means. It don't necessarily mean that it. Yeah, you say it does. It comes from drugs related, but the reality is, it doesn't mean just because you're a black man that you drive a nice car that you are a drug dealer or you dealing in some kind of crime or burglary. I mean, you got to be completely like stupid if you're going to go and commit a burglary and then drive around in a 60 grand car. You know, that's just like you might as well walk around with all the stolen goods in your hand. You know, and I've been pulled over. In my suit and saying there's been a burglary lately, and I've stood there in my briefcase and my suit, in my tan suit, at 10 o'clock at night saying, oh, I could have got changed. And I guess where did this burglary take place? Oh, just round the corner. I said, well, why would I dress into my suit and burgle somewhere? You know, that's bullshit. Now, at the end of the day, the majority of police officers are banging at one point, and I've spoken to a lot of police officers recently. And I know quite a few got a really good member of the family who is in the police force. But you just get the little pricks that are in every organisation that let the side down. And those ones are causing the negativity in society today. And they're the ones that need to be rooted out. That needs to change. So in a majority, seeing the police coming out with protesters and standing with protesters and showing solidarity and supporting is amazing, you know. And even today, when I was waiting for my other half, because I went out, finally come out of shielding, though I'm still shielding and keeping safe within this virus. Even today, when I was sitting in my car, today, after all what happened, I saw a van drive past, and a black woman was closing the shutter for her own business, mind, right? Closing the shutters, and what did I hear? A white person saying in the van, hey, look at that black girl with a nice batty. Look at a black girl with a nice batty. Fucking out of order. And I'm wrong if I say that. I'm wrong if I air my views. I haven't told nobody about this, and it still happens now. Is it going to change? Is this a part of our soul, our spirit? Are we born into this? No, we are taught it. The people we should be blaming is a wider society. We should be blaming parents, uncles, aunts. They're the ones that should be held accountable. They're the ones that should be reprimanded and taught that they are wrong what they believe and think is true and what is right. But just by the colour of the person's skin doesn't mean the character of that person is bad or going to cause harm. You know, because at the end of the day, we all know that is just like bullshit. And if you believe that, you're more stupid than I think you are. The reality is, the consciousness is shifting. It isn't changing. This virus has caused a lot of changes, and this is just the beginning. And look, let me just explain something. This isn't Armageddon. If the world and Armageddon's come, you'd know about it. Trust me. In one of my lives before, I still get echoes of it in this life now, and what a destruction of a race is about. So if you think this is it, you've got another thing coming. This is not it. The reality is for the fact is that this is us waking up. This is people waking up. Not just black people. I mean consciousness. People are waking up. And they're all standing and saying, we are not taking it anymore. We're not taking it anymore. We're not being walked over by people we put in power or by people who should be there to serve and protect. This is what it's about. This is about people, not just a black person, not just an Indian, not just an Asian or a white person. This is about the higher consciousness of people realizing now that they have had enough, and this is it. It has to stop. Now, at the end of the day, are we going to root out racism 110%? I don't think so. I hope we can. But the reality is that people have to keep going and recorrecting people about their consciousness, about the wrongness that they are doing. That's the only way they're going to change. Now, in every essence of us all, we have a dark side, we have a light side. Now, good and bad is a point of view. We all know that. We all know that if you hold a gun and there's a woman who is in a dark alley on her own and there's lots of people men surrounding her, and she's got a gun, that gun is a weapon to protect her, right? Whether she uses it to defend herself, we can debate whether that's a good thing or not. If a 5-year-old has the gun in his hand and holds it and shoots somebody by accident, is that child wrong? Who's at fault? Is it the gun's fault? Remember, who wields a gun is the one who's at fault. You know, who's the one who wields that? It's about being held accountable for what you do and who you are. And I think today, this change and this move forward is about accountability, about everybody, not just me, not just my man next door. It's everybody. Whether you're in an interracial relationship, whether you're in a same color caste relationship, whether you're in a gay relationship, or whether you're in any form of relationship, it boils down to what we are about. Now, at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of people who are in interracial relationships start stepping up, thinking that they should uphold. It's a direct attack on their partner. It's at the end of the reality, it's good that you are stepping forward, but not just one day. Not one day. Every day is about seeing and dealing with racism and consciousness and shifting consciousness, because racism is a form of undoing a negative side of unconsciousness, because it is ignorance and fear. That's what it's about. Because a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old don't know what a black person is. It's how their parents or the people that are around that show that child what it's about. Now, at the end of the day, I can give 3 flying fucks, right, about what people think about who I am and what I do. Because there's a beautiful thing by I heard from Steve Harvey that said, all you can be is you, and all I can be is me, and all I can put out there and talk about is about me, you know. And I always say, you don't want to know me, then fuck off. There's the door. No love lost. I'd rather be around people that embrace consciousness shifts and knowledge than ignorance that walk out there thinking that they're the big I am and walk around with nice watches and cut nice cars and fucking nice laptops and so on, because that ain't reality. That's just stupidness. That's just a small chink in a bigger chain. That's a very small chink, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, someone said to me, oh, I like your videos because you come and you keep it real. No, I don't keep it real. I keep it me. And some people may disagree with what I'm talking about. Some people may agree. Some people may be sitting on the border. I don't really mind. But all I want to just say is just be you, and don't be afraid to express yourself safely, respectfully, and honourably. That's what's important. And above all, dealing with my collective and my guides and so on, is for the fact is that when we work together and when we move forward and we talk about consciousness and shifting of consciousness, it all comes from a spiritual place. It's all about us. This is us, and I'm dying. I am pleading. You don't know. I am pleading with you all. Really, I am pleading with you. Please find your true self. Find who you are. What you're meant to be here. You're here for a reason. Don't be fooled by these smokes and mirrors and this negativeness and this evilness that's going on. Find who you are. That's your ticket. And that's when this world will become a better place. Please unlock the negativeness you've been brainwashed by society and by probably people above you. Because at the end of the day, you're here for a reason. Unlock your consciousness and find out who you are. You know, and don't be fooled by the false prophets that come and telling you they can do this and they can do that and they are amazing and so on and so forth, because it's a load of BS at the end of the day. If someone's coming to help you, they'll come to help you. They come to help you help yourself. You know, give a man the fish, he ain't gonna learn to fish. You give the man a fishing rod, he can learn to fish and feed his family. Give him the tools, and this is what I'm about, and I'm praying I can keep doing that. So all I'm just saying, and this is what this is about, is that I want you all just to find yourself, just to love yourself, just to love each other and keep yourself safe, because I think shit is changing. shit is changing and stuff is changing, and you need to be ready. It's not a negative thing. Just be a beautiful times are coming. Really, with anything new and anything beautiful, everybody's bonded. You just get these small nuggets of people who are causing negativeness, who are causing anger, who are causing pain, and they are the ones who are making sure, who are unfortunately echoing it on to the good, who are doing right. But all the ones that are doing right, and you're protesting safe, and you're keeping yourself safe, and you're doing it in the right way to keep yourself safe and to make your voice heard, you keep doing that. You keep being, and but above all, keep being you. You know, just keep being you. That's all I can say. And I just wanted just to keep it real today, because it's just, this shit's just been built up in me, and after seeing what I heard today, it really, you know what, it really fucked me off. It really did piss me off, because it's like, you know, it's just, I don't know what to say after that. I just want to leave it there and say, you know, stay safe, keep shining, and love and light from the eternal flame. We'll all be there, and keep yourself